Today is going to be the third video of our database question series. So in the previous video, we talked about creating databases using MySQL Workbench, and we talked about mainly about data redundancy. So in this video, I'm going to explain how to create database using the MySQL Workbench software and create tables using customized databases and how to create a relationship between tables in a database. So this video is going to focus mainly on the main-to-main relationship and the relationships in database. So let's get into our question. As you guys know, I'm doing this question series based on question sets. 3, 2. As you guys know, I'm doing this series based on question sets. So this is the third question set. So the question says, the owner of the Rajapaksha grocery store has decided to buy software to make his day-to-day business easier. The owner of the store has entrusted your organization to develop this software. Assume you working as a software developer for this company and that you have been assigned to create a software database. So the first question says, use Rajapaksha DB for the name in this database. So, and draw a ER diagram. So in the previous questions, we created our database using ER diagrams, but in those questions, they didn't specifically said about using ER diagrams. But in this question, it says to create the database using ER diagrams. So let's create our database first. So go to your connection and click on File, New Model, and rename your database. And saved it. And to draw our ER diagram, double click on Add Diagram. And now we have successfully created our ER diagram sheet. So let's see what the second question says. The second question says, create a database using the following data. So they have given us three tables: the customer table, the product table, and the brand table. So the customer table has 5 columns: the customer register number, first name, last name, gender, and contact number. And the product table has product ID and product name, and the brand table has brand ID and brand name. So let's go to our Workbench software and create these tables. So first of all, let's go and create our customer table. So place a new table, double click on it and change it to customer, and add your columns. First, the customer registration number, it's gonna be varchar and 10 in length, and the next one is gonna be the first name, it's gonna be varchar and 45 in length. The next one is gonna be last name, and the next one is gonna be gender, which is gonna be 10 in length, and the last one is gonna be contact number, which is also gonna be 10 in length. Now we have successfully created our customer table. So let's move on to the product table. So place a new table, double click on it and rename it as product, and add your 2 columns, the product ID column and the product name. So now that's done. Let's move on to the brand table. So place a new table, double click on it, rename it as brand, and add your 2 columns, the brand ID and the brand name. So change brand ID to Vacha and 10 in length. So now we have created our three tables successfully. Now let's move on to our third question. So third question says customers who come to the store can buy as many items as they like. The store owner says that all purchased items must be stored in a database with a record. Design the database accordingly. Use the ER diagram for this. So since the owner in this question says that all purchased items by the customer should be stored in a separate table or database, in this case there's a relationship between the customer and the product table. So since there's a lot of customers and a lot of products, and one customer can buy several products and several products can be bought by one or many customers, there's a relationship between the two tables called, and we can call it a many to many relationship. So let's go and do that in our database. So to create a many-to-many relationship, first you yeah, kaude. To create a many-to-many relationship, first you have to click on this button. This allows you to create many-to-many relationships, and then click on the two tables that you want to create the relationship, and the relationship has been successfully created now. And you guys can also see a new table has been formed and its name product has customer. So this makes our work easier. So the product ID and the customer registration number is in a separate table as the question says, and I'm going to make it easier by adding this an ID so we can find data more easier. And I'm going to make it int, and I'm going to add its length as 10. I'm going to tick off primary key from these two and make the ID the primary key, and I'm going to put it as auto increment as well. So now the maintainment relationship has successfully been created. So in the previous video we talked about the product and the brand table and the relationship between them, which is a one-to-many relationship. So I'm going to do create that relationship as well. Now our database is complete as the question says. So to view our database, click on database and click on forward engineering. Don't change any settings during this in this window. So only click on next and let the process do its work. And after that click on close. And if you go back to home uh, and click on your connection, and you can see the schemas or the databases, and if we scroll down we can see our database here, and these are the tables that we have created. Here's the brand table, and this is the customer table, the product table, and the product has a customer table. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I will be hoping to meet you guys in the next video. Thank you.